the knowledge that is the true origin of the humanity, where we came from and how we are going to come back from where we came from. This knowledge explains by itself. That is not a religion, not a sect or doctrine. It is a knowledge explaining all the creation of the universe, life in and outside of Earth. And through this book's Universo and Desenchantment, you're gonna find all the answers to all the questions that you always have. And you need to explain to yourself why we are the way we are, why we live where we live, the way we live. Today we are talking about the explanations from one chapter from the third book of Replica. We have been talking before. And the most important chapter explains about human behavior. And of course, when we talk about human behavior, we talk about evolution. And when we talk about evolution, it's not about to become polite or to understand or be aware about how life is, but how you, as a changed human being, will behave. So rational knowledge explains that the magnetism makes the rational animal becomes more animal than rational. Also explains the origin of the word animal, why animal, and divide into two classes as beasts and animals. So it looks like the same in English, but the meaning in Universo and Desenchantment is completely different, right? So he says the ones that are using the matter, the material world as beasts. For example, he goes from a hole, a home, or a cave, or the place the animal lives, to the work and come back from the work to the cave. From this cave to activities, to trip, vacations, and then come back to the cave. And the behavior of this material human being doesn't care about the universe, doesn't care about life, doesn't care about anything at all besides himself. So when he thinks only about himself, he becomes selfish. And this behavior is one of many definitions how to find the beast behavior, right? So beast behavior is the way the human beings behave close to animals, right? And the rational animal in the book's Universo and Desenchantment definition mainly explains a little bit more refined human being, which is the rational in the knowledge, in the way to understand life. He wants to know about things, he's always asking about things, he's curious about things, and he wants to know. He cares about life, he cares about other human beings. So it's a small definition between beast and animal. So we define classes and categories about human beings. In general, we can say that all human beings, today almost 8 billion, behaves in the category of beasts. And this category is divided by beasts and rational animals. So if you are at home, if you want to know about life, if you care about the planet, if you care about nature, if you care about the universe, if you are curious about how life started on the planet, so you are defined as a rational animal. And if you're selfish, careless, and you just live your life in a material way, having fun, and do not care about anything or anyone else than yourself, so you are in the category of beasts. So it's very clear, defined on this knowledge, Universo and Desenchantment, as you see here. We have some examples today. The book here is in French, Universo and Desenchantment, one book in Spanish and one book in English. We have some books translated already, the first book, and some, very few, has the second book of Universo and Desenchantment, right? The first collection of 21 books translated. Holding in my hands here is Replica, the reply, right? And we have here another replica, and in the background here in blue, replica. So the reason that I'm showing these books to you is to know that the knowledge doesn't end in the first book. You have a lot of knowledge to go further. The first book is just for you to understand a little bit, I mean very little, about what is going on. It's very important for many people. It's quite enough to understand the basic concept about Universo and Desencanto, but not for everything, right? So in the books Reply and Rejoinder, Replica and Replica, further on, you can find some small definitions about the words, the important about the words, and about everything that the rational culture or Universo and Desencanto has to offer to you. So we are just taking today the third book of the Reply or Replica, right? To talk about behavior. He says technically that respect, it's very important. When he talks about respect, he doesn't mean that you have okay, I already respect everybody. It's not enough, it's more than this, it's knowledge. And when you know to yourself, when you know really who you are, why you are here, what are you doing in this planet, and all types of life that is surrounding you, so then you start to think about respect. And respect is the main, and I would say first step for Universo and Desencanto. When you respect life in general manner, when you respect the nature, when you respect the plants, when you respect the animals, and when you respect all sources and all types of life, including minerals, right? We are talking about stones, we are talking about the mountains, we talk about the planets. And then you start to understand deeply Universo and Desencanto, not to believe, but to understand that the whole universe is important to you. Probably you are already there, probably you already have been thinking about what is the meaning of one small tiny planet in a huge universe doing. Is like only one planet with life inside, or do you think there is more life around? And when we see a lot of television channels talking about UFOs, and now they try to say, oh, we don't know what it is, it's unidentified, we classify that is something that is moving, but we are not sure of. And when the Air Force or many authorities like governments are start to say, look, they exist, like in the case of one very important presidential candidate in the United States explained it to everybody that he saw it, he saw UFO, he saw life outside. Then we start to think about life in a general manner. And okay, we are not alone in this universe, it's for sure. It's quite huge to be only this small tiny planet to have life. And we have been thinking about, if we are not alone here, what is the meaning of all this life around us? And Universo and Desencanto is gonna tell you about it. So when we talk about respect, it's the first step is to understand who you are and who is every single source of light and life around you. So from today, if you're reading the second or the third one from Reply, Replica, you start to think about it. Start to think about how to respect other people and how to respect other sources of life like animals and plants. And then you start to interact yourself more with nature and try to elevate yourself as human being to be even better and better, to get out of this class of rational animal, right? And if you thought that the division stays there, no, it does not. We have many divisions that goes after, according to you and to your evolution. The next evolution step is the class of rationals, right? So you are a rational animal, then you are going over to rationals. And then after rationals, you're going to rational device. And as you see, there is a long walk for you to evolve. It doesn't mean that takes time. It all depends on every single one. Some people takes longer, some people are faster. But evolution technically means that you are ready to connect yourself to everything and everyone around you. Okay? So that's how we finish today. Say thank you very much. Salve.
natureza mudou de fase. E para que a humanidade passe a se conhecer, tem que estudar a cultura racional. Para poder voltar ao seu estado natural, que é de energia eterna, com o seu progresso de pureza, porque são energias puras, limpas e perfeitas. Todos têm que desenvolver o seu raciocínio, e por isso está aí a energia racional tratando de desenvolver o raciocínio de toda a humanidade. Então acabará os males da humanidade. Para terminar os males da humanidade, a pessoa tem que raciocinar, porque o raciocínio une e o pensamento divide. Então vamos caminhar para a concórdia e não continuar com a discórdia.